So we're here for the second panel of Ms. Arina Tanemura at Anime Fest 2015. And this panel is about a day in the life of a mangaka, right? But before we go ahead and get started, there's a couple of things. First, I need to make an announcement about the tickets. Those of you that have been to previous panels this year for the Japanese guests, you've probably heard this already. But we'll be giving out tickets for the autograph line toward the end of the panel. And if you already have one from today, please don't get another one. They do give people priority who come to the panels priority in the autograph line. So at the end, as we're leaving, you'll be handed a ticket, and those people with tickets will be able to get in line in front of those without tickets. And then secondly, I was just informed that we have a special present for Ms. Tanemura here, and this gentleman here would like everybody that's signed to this card to please stand up. What are they going to say? Lots of cat stickers on, guys.
Hello. My name is Arina Tanemura. 今日はよろしくお願いします。
Look forward to a fun discussion. よろしくお願いします。
今日は私の日常についてまずお話ししたいと思います。
I think I'm going to start off the talk today by telling you just a little about my everyday life.
まず、1ヶ月、今私は連載を3本やっています。
So I'm currently publishing 3 different series at the same time.
2ヶ月に1回のやつ1本と2週間に1編の1本。
So I have one series that is published once every 2 months, and I have another series that's published once every 2 weeks.
あとはエッセイ漫画を1つ。
And I'm also writing an essay manga as well.
とっても忙しいです。
A little busy.
で、ですね、最初1ヶ月の最初1日から5日まで1本漫画をあげます。5日間で。
So normally I spend, say, the 1st of the month through the 5th of the month. In 5 days, I put together one manga.
で、そこからちょっと長めのやつを1週間でもう1本あげます。
And then I also spend the next week making yet another, maybe a little bit longer manga.
で、その後ちょっとカラーの仕事を何日かやって、また5日間で1本あげます。
And then I do some color illustrations for a few days. And then I start to finish another manga.
で、その後ようやく遊びに行きます。
And then finally I have a couple days to play.
遊びに行くときは、ショッピングとかカラオケとかボーリングに行きます。
So I like bowling and karaoke and of course shopping.
ですね。で、あとは猫と遊んだり、パンを焼いたりしてます。
I also enjoy playing with my cats, and I also like baking bread.
で、あと次は1日のだいたい平均的な1日の、過ごし方なんですけど、お昼12時ぐらいに起きます。
So if I break it down into little smaller pieces and talk about just one day, a typical day for me, I typically wake up around noon.
で、2時間ぐらいぼーっとしてます。
And then I space out for about 2 hours.
で、そこからようやくお仕事を始めて、で、お仕事を始めるともう他のことを一切しません。
But then once I start working, I don't do anything but work.
で、その後ご飯を食べる休憩をしたり、忙しい時はもう持ったまま。
Occasionally occasionally I actually take a break to eat, but when I'm really busy, I'm working and eating at the same time.
で、また、ご飯の後、2時間ぐらいぼーっとします。
And then after I'm done eating, I space out for 2 hours.
で、その後お風呂に入って、また寝るまで、朝までお仕事をします。
Then I take a bath, and then I start working again until the morning.
で、それが大体の1日の過ごし方です。
And that's probably my typical day for you.
で、ぼーっとしてる時間は無駄かもしれないけど、私にはとても必要な時間なんです。
So it might sound like spacing out is a waste of time, but for me it's incredibly valuable time.
じゃあそれでは、私の日常の写真と一緒にちょっと思い出を。
So I'd like to show you some photos I've taken from my own private residence and my everyday life, if you were.
これはですね、この間台湾に先月サイン会に行った時の写真です。
So I took this picture when I went to an autograph session signing event in Taiwan last
もの
month.
すごい台風が来て、
There was this huge typhoon that came.
もうこんな風に街中木が倒されておりました。
And trees were just blown and knocked over all throughout the city.
見えるかな？
Can you see it?
根っこが見えてます。
You can even see the roots of the tree.
で、次。あ、これ台湾のサイン会で。
And this is me at the poster signing in Taiwan.
で、あ、これはこの間描いたカラーイラスト。塗りかけです。
So this is a color illustration I drew just the other day, and it's in the process of being colored.
で、ちょっと塗ったとこ。
And then colored a little more.
ちなみに、あ、完成はないんだけど。
I don't have the finished product here, sorry.
これはですね、家の隣の公園で懸垂をしようと思って鉄棒に手が届かないという。
So I thought I would get a little exercise in at the park next to where I live, but I couldn't reach.
これは、誰用なんだっていうぐらい高かった。
So I was thinking, this is so high, who in the world can use this?
で、うちの猫です。
This is one of my cats.
リック。
This is Rick.
女の子。
She is Rick. Miku.
これはこの間書いた落書きです。何のキャラでもなく。
This is just a rough sketch I drew the other day. There's really no character I based this on. Just an original work.
ちなみにツイッターフォローしてる人いる？
Okay, I have a question. Can you raise your hand if you follow me on Twitter?
ああ、thank you, thank you. ハロー。はい、次です。これは男の子のカイ君。
This is my boy Kai.
カイ君は太ってます。
Kai's a little overweight.
ちょっとね、ぶにゃってしてる。
It's a little plump.
はい、次です。あ、これもリクですね、女の子。
This is my girl Riku.
こう箱に入ってるようで、ちょっとおけつがね、この辺がはみ出してる。
So she looks like she fits in the box, but her little hiney is hanging over.
箱があれば入りたいお年頃です。
She's at that age where if there's a box, she needs to be in it.
これは友達のネイル。
This is my friend's nail art.
タック&ジョナサン。
This is Tack and Jonathan.
で、こっちも。そう、ちょっと浮かれてお祭り気分みたいな。
So this is more like they're enjoying the festival feeling here.
で、次です。これはうちの仕事場です。
This is my workspace.
こうポスターが飾ってあったり。
Posters on the wall.
この奥のこれが私の机です。
And that desk in the back, that's the one I use.
アシスタントさんが私を見ると 必然的に時間を知らされるというね、時計が目に入る。
So it's set up in a certain way so that when my assistants turn to look at me, they're aware of the time.
もう時間ないわよ。
We're running out of time. Hurry up.
これがアシスタントさんの机です。
And this is the desk of my assistants.
日本は狭い。
Japan's a little, well, not much space available.
これも一緒か。あ、これもリクですね。
This is also Riku.
ちょっと見ると寄り目になってます。
And if you look carefully, it looks like she starts to get her eyes crossed here.
あ、これはですね、この間サンリオさんのキキララカフェのなんかレセプションに行った時の。
I went to a reception for Sanrio's
Kiki
Lala Cafe.
キキララのメニューです。ちょっと可愛いから。
Kiki and Lala, my melody.
なんかこんなメニューを見たり、とにかくこういう可愛いものが好きです。
So I guess you could just simply put it that I love these cute little things.
これはこの間スイーツビュッフェに行った時の写真。
So I went to a buffet of nothing but sweets. あ、これもカイ君ですね。 This is Kai.
カイ君は洗面台に入るのが大好きで。
Kai loves being in the bathroom sink.
これちょっと頭をね、どうもどうもって書いてます。
He's kind of scratching his head saying, hi.
あ、これは、
Do you guys know who this is?
刀剣乱舞っていうゲームが好きで、刀剣乱舞。
Token Nambu is the name of the game.
ちょっとファンアート。
A little bit of fan art for that game.
わかる？こんなのも趣味で書いてたりします。
So that's just my hobby.
こんな感じで以上です。
So that's kind of all I was able to pull together. What do you think? 'So she's asking me, do we want to switch to like a Q&A type of a format, or do you want to see her draw?
OK?
What should she draw?
今ここで刀剣乱舞かけた。
How about one put a phone word?
さよ。さよちゃんが。
I'm not sure if you can remember here. Hang on, I'm just going to try to look it up.
自分のキャラじゃなくて。
Are you sure? Do you want her to draw somebody else's character? She's going to start with John. Phantom Thief. The direction. So I've also was talking with her about her day in the life, and she's incredibly simplified her introduction. But who's curious to know more about how she works with her assistants? All right. So, got it.
13人いて、毎回その原稿ごとにその中から大体5、6人来てます。
So I have probably a total of, I think, 13 assistants right now. And out of those 13, depending on the work that we're working on at that moment, I probably have 5 or 6 of them come to the office to work at a time.
大体背景の絵を描いてもらったり、建物のね、絵を描いてもらったり。
And so, what the job of an assistant does, it varies a little bit, but I have them often draw backgrounds and buildings, things of that nature. And so I have them also erase some of and clean up some of the work, and also do ink fills over large areas. And go and buy me meals. And play with my cats for me. They also do like screen tones and things like that as well. Who has a question they might like to ask while she's drawing? In the way back, your hand shot up first. Unfortunately, I have a full house right now.
Do you sleep?
The question was, how much do you sleep? Her answer is about 5 or 6 hours. The question is, how did you develop your style? So it's really hard to define something like that. I guess maybe you could say it's just kind of the result, naturally, of all of the influence I've received from reading so many different manga and watching so many different shows. Okay.
So first I wanted to know if when the Blue anime premiered and Arena heard the voices and the songs, if that's how she imagined them to be when she did the manga, or if it was something completely different.
What for which show? Okay. So actually it's interesting because I never even really thought to imagine the voices. So for me, I didn't really have any preconceived idea about what it might be, so.
And the last question is, can she sing what songs for the manga she wrote to them? And I always wanted to know what they sounded like, but we couldn't because you could only read it.
Ah, the songs? Can she actually sing them? Are you asking her to sing right here? That's a little difficult to ask.
But she said she went to karaoke sometimes.
Yes, she does go to karaoke, right?
Even just a dance.
For the moon. No. Nice, very cute Pakuto on there. too. Thank you. Okay, how about in the back there?
I've got a little bit of a selfish question. I've got a little bit of a selfish question here, but a friend of mine who are in Ohio couldn't be here, but his daughter is a very big fan of her. And I'm just going to ask this, the drawing that she's doing afterwards, is there any chance I can get that? Because I'm actually getting an autograph of her later, and I didn't know if I can actually get that drawing because she's a huge fan, and it would probably blow her mind.
So all of the artwork that the Japanese guests are doing, including Arina's here, are going to be available at the Sunday night charity auction. So in that sense, you have an opportunity, but to try to be fair to everybody, that's the decision that the convention's made. So.
Well, I just have a question about the production. So obviously, it looks like everything is done manually in her studio. Does she deliver the manual works to the publisher and they do the scanning and printing,
Okay.
or do she deliver digital work?
Okay, so the question is, it looks like when he saw the pictures of her studio, that it looked pretty analog, not a lot of digital equipment there. And so the question is, how does the work that she finishes make its way to the publisher, right? So actually the editor, my editor, comes and retrieves the manuscripts and brings it back, and the publisher will digitize it.
As far as the 31 items, how many volumes is she expecting to be?
I have no idea right now.
Okay, so a while ago she drew the Sailor Sunshine. I was wondering which one was her favorite? Like Sailor Moon? Sailor Sunshine?
Essentially.
Sailor Senshi. And which one was her favorite?
Yeah.
Probably Minako. And the red shirt.
Is there a part of the drawing or coloring process that she finds
Is there a part of the coloring or drawing process that she finds is her favorite? Probably doing the initial rough draft of the drawing is her favorite part. Somebody that has asked a question right there. Yeah.
Actually, a question for you, Jonathan. Could you describe what the auction is going to be like? It's going to be a live auction or a silent auction? It's going to be art? And why don't you ask that?
Sure. The question was about the auction, and unfortunately, I don't know off the top of my head. But I do know that you could go to the art showroom and they can get you all the information. I think there's also something in the program book about it as well.
Okay, that's good. Okay, actual question for Sarah is, when you have to meet a strict deadline and just have to keep working through and don't get a lot of rest or so, how do you keep yourself energized to keep moving, and is she caffeine free, or does she do something else to just, when it's crunch time and things have to get done?
So the question is, when she's out of time and she's got a hard deadline coming up and she's working as fast as she can, she's not sleeping, what is she doing to keep herself moving?
氷そうただの水こぼして
So actually, one of the things I do, it might sound strange, is but I just eat ice. I continually eat ice.
冷たくて目が覚める
Because it's so cold, it kind of jolts me awake. Right here. Can you speak about 4 times louder?
How do you come up with the fashion for your hair?
Okay. The question is, how do you come up with the fashion for your characters?
And also, what's her favorite
And what's her favorite?
character?
Okay. Thank you.
食代切り三つただ
Shok-
食代切り三つただ
Shokudai-giri mitsutada.
もう適当に自分で着たい服を描いてる
So as far as the fashion goes, I just kind of come up with clothes that I think I would like to wear. So,
About Idol 7, I was wondering what it's like collaborating on something like that and how much freedom she was given doing the character design.
oh, okay. So the question is about a game, Idolish 7, that she participated in the character designs for. And the question is, how much freedom did she have in that process?
ほとんど自由にやらせてもらってました
So actually, it was pretty much completely free. I could do what I wanted. So it was really kind of great. Are you playing Idolish 7?
わあ、アメリカでもできないんだ
So you can do it in America too. That's cool.
I'm interested in her workspace. Does she use special drawers for holding all her equipment?
Ah, okay. Like sized to whatever paper or pens or things like that. That's just a normal desk, normal drawers. Before she maybe debuted? Okay. So the question is, what kind of things did you do in your earlier works before you debuted as a manga professional? Is that fair? I drew lots of girls, no boys. I like drawing hair, so. So the game, did you guys like the Torabu game? What character should you try to draw?
食代切り三つただみっちゃん前にいるのは
Okay, she can do Michan.
みっちゃんじゃあおまけにこれ
It's just a bonus here. More questions? Somebody that hasn't asked a question yet.
How do you come up with your storylines? Or are there any storylines or events that you're particularly proud of?
Okay. The question is, how do you come up with your stories? So sometimes there might be a scene in my head that I've imagined, and that's kind of the seed. Other times there's maybe a dialogue line that just rings well, and you want to start from there. Which comes first? So it's kind of a continuation question to the story question just a moment ago, but when your stories are so beautiful and your characters are so beautiful, which comes first? So it kind of depends on the work. It changes from work to work. So for example, with Gentleman's Alliance, it started with the characters. But Phantom Thief started with the story. But Full Moon started actually with the title. Good question. Trying to get in the back again, and then we'll go to you. Okay, so is it a two-part question? How many works did she submit before she became accepted into a publisher? Okay, and what was the second question? If she went to a manga university? So in 1 year, 12 times I submitted before I was finally picked up. But no, I did not go to a manga university at all. Have a question?
What's her favorite alcohol?
Maybe plum wine?
I noticed that when she's doing the autograph stuff, she doesn't have to do macron, she doesn't have to draw the guidelines or anything. In what cases does she draw the guidelines before actually going to ink or actually
Starting, okay. When I have to ink it with a nice pen, I always make sure that I put the rough draft down first, because it's kind of hard to use the pens. So I want to make sure that I have a good guideline there.
Sort of related to the previous food and drink question. Since deadlines often produce odd working hours, and eating is rather erratic when you're on a deadline, and you say that she says that she sends off her assistant to go get her food. Is there any particular stuff that she likes to send them to go get? Any particular food requests?
So the question is, when she asks her assistants to go get her some dinner or some food, is there any particular type of dish that she really likes, especially given the odd working hours that she has to work? Rice balls. Tuna mayonnaise. Rice balls.
If you want to work in the art field in the future, did her parents support that? And if they did she have any advice to convince your parents?
So if I heard you correctly, did her parents support her efforts to get a job in the field of artwork? And if they did not, what advice might she have? So I can answer the first part of the question because yes, they did. They were very supportive of me. If they hadn't supported me, I probably would have run away. She's so quick. Can you speak a little louder, please?
Considering that she might have to redraw characters a lot, is there a specific way that she draws characters?
Okay, so considering that she has to draw many instances of characters, is there anything she does to try to make sure that they stay consistent from one page to the next? So actually, yeah, I kind of decide on a single point in a particular character that I want to maintain. For example, maybe this particular character has a wider mouth than the other characters, or maybe their eyebrows are different. So that kind of helps her keep it consistent. Find somebody that has, if you've already asked a question, put your hand down a second. I want to give everybody an opportunity. Pink hair.
In Devil Florence Cross, who did she prefer Heidi to end up with? Whether it was Shizumasa, Takanari, or Ichigo?
In Gentleman's Alliance Cross, who did who? I couldn't hear.
The main protagonist.
Okay, the main character, who did the sensei want the main protagonist to end up with?
Yes. Whether or not it was the character that she did end up with or somebody else.
Ah, okay. So it actually ended the way she intended. Okay. And the white glove?
What would be the craziest deadline you've ever had?
Okay. I had to write 25 pages of manga in only 3 days. I was so busy with a lot of other color illustration work that I kind of ran out of time. However, I did manage to pull it off, so. All right, so we got about 7 minutes left. We can do a few more questions. The blue hair.
Has there been sort of like she's risked her livelihood on committing to being manga?
Don't know if I understood the question. Has there been any time
She's had to like take a really big risk.
take a really big risk
To be a manga.
to become one or continue to be one?
Feeling like being
probably the decision to maybe not be able to play around as much as I used to be able to have free time of my own. Making that decision for me was kind of a personal risk. And also the lack of sleep. All right, in the very back of the beard. Do you have something special you like doing when you finish a project? Like an entire series? When she's done with an entire... Okay.
アシスタントさんたちとパーティーします。
So yes, I have a party with my assistants. Sometimes they might go to karaoke together. Okay. Yes.
How many hours does it take to finish one page of manga?
下へ30分、ペン入れ45分。
So 30 minutes for the rough draft and 45 for the inking.
これは多分他の人より早い。
It's probably a little quicker than other manga artists. So I asked her, why are you so quick?
わかんない。
I don't know.
でも忙しい時は絵を描くのが早くなる。
But actually, when I find myself getting really busy, I actually end up drawing faster too.
暇な時ほど遅くなる。
But when I have a lot of free time on my hands, I kind of draw slowly.
What does she enjoy most about being a mangaka?
喜んでること、どうだろうな、仕事で海外に来れる。
Probably that I get to travel overseas for work.
今とっても楽しいですよ。
I'm having a great time right now, actually. All right, I know it's a little bit early, but I think we're going to end it here and let everybody funnel out and get your tickets for the autograph session that's going to start in just under 10 minutes. So if we can give it one big round of applause.